I still made progress. I just, yeah. God damn it.
It's like, I've actually been watching this guy on YouTube. I'm going to try and see if I can find his name. He's a Fakemon artist, so he like makes up cool Pokemon designs.
Oh, God damn it.
Let me scroll to see if I can find it. I have to have posted a video recently. Holy shit, man. How far am I gonna have to scroll?
A lot.
I could just type it into the search, but I'm dedicated to the scroll now.
Okay, did I lose the move too? Son of a bitch.
Oh, there we go. True Green 7 he's called. Occasionally he'll just grab up a bunch of Fakemon artists and like do collabs with them. Also, I remember the Pokemon anime got like a big art style change for the Alola region and no one liked it. So like they kind of sort of switched it back for the rest of the series. Or like switched it to something more similar to the old. Actually, that's an interesting question for the call. What's your favorite generation of Pokemon in like game and anime, if you've consumed both or either? Damn.
I don't have much of a favorite.
Ah, that's fair. Mine is the Diamond and Pearl era.
Pearl.
Hey, Def, you still there?
Def?
He's probably AFK.
Yeah, probably.
It's okay, he'll be back. Probably, maybe, I assume, if nothing bad happened.
I has returned because I need to get my
Okay, Def, in terms of game and or anime, depending on which you've consumed, both or one, what is your favorite generation?
That is a tough one, mainly because I just didn't really care much for the generation. Maybe the one that introduced Lucario, Sableye, and, Darkrai.
Wait, was Sableye introduced in Diamond and Pearl?
No.
Oh, because Darkrai was.
I think just whichever generation, like, probably had Lucario or Darkrai, in my opinion. Those were my favorites.
I think Lucario was the Diamond and Pearl Pokemon? Maybe? If anyone in the chat knows better, please correct me.
Yeah, because I don't really know much about the generation when it comes to Pokemon. Like, the only generation I know is just Kanto, and that's it. Mainly because those were the only games I actually tried to complete.
Okay. Also, thank you, Ryzen. Sableye is not Gen 4, but Lucario is. Gen 4 is Diamond and Pearl, for anyone who isn't aware. Sableye is a Gen 3! Also, everybody loves Lucario, some for the wrong reasons.
I mean...
I see you out there on the internet.
To be fair...
bullshit.
I mean, to be fair, can you really blame them?
No.
Lucario's like the equivalent of, like, Renamon for people.
Yeah. It's like Lucario's up there with Lopunny and God of War. I guess Gallade as well, since Gallade is just like the guy God of War.
Also,
real quick, if you're into a Pokemon but it's a God of War / Gallade, can you still be called a furry?
maybe?
Did God of Wars and Gallades have fur?
I mean, I don't know. Pokemon is weird.
Also, Equestria guy, can we not? Because I get that it's a topical thing and some people want to stay informed and stuff, but do we have to keep bringing that up? I don't want to think about that stuff. Please and thank you.
What are they bringing up?
UK sensitive bullshit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, let's keep it...
The less time I spend thinking about it, the more time I can spend actually enjoying myself.
Yeah. Not every one of us wants to continue reminding ourselves how things are bad. Thank you.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
If people want to talk about that shit on their own time, that's fine. But,
Yeah, anyway, Remember how we thought that that companies would learn better after what happened with Halo?
I never made such claims. I'm gonna be real. I have no faith in any of them ever.
Well,
ever again.
You can lose faith even more because some companies said they were going to do a God of War series, but they were only going to immediately jump into the Norse era of God of War instead of the Greek era.
Okay, there's two things I want to say on that. Because, the person said, while they didn't play the game, they watched all of the game's cutscenes, which in the Norse series, the game's cutscenes are most of the story. And, they actually care enough about the games to acknowledge them, which is better than a lot of adaptations get these days.
But also, that is a valid point.
But also, I'm not sure what you could do to the Greek saga of God of War in an adaptation. I'm not saying the Greek saga is bad or anything, but I feel like it's a story that can only really exist in its time.
Well, one of the reasons that many people feel that they should have just adapted the Greek era of God of War first before jumping into the North one is because it does show the progression of Kratos' character. He went from an angry, bitter-as-hell man wanting to get revenge on the gods to a man who wanted to atone for the horrible things he did because he realized that the revenge didn't bring him anywhere close to his family again.
I mean, I get that, but considering the stuff you have to do in God of Wars 1 through 3 and portable games, again, it's a series that can only really exist in its time. And, they don't have to adapt everything he does, the gratuitous sex scenes and the needless civilian murder. But, I feel like the Norse saga only works when set against the Greek saga exactly as it was. Because, yeah, Kratos was evil. Easily as evil as the Greek gods he opposed, regardless of his reasoning. But, modern stories don't want to tell those stories.
Actually,
the modern adaptation of Avatar didn't even want to tackle Sokka getting over his sexism because they even though showing someone becoming better than that would have been good, they didn't want to, and it's stupid and I disagree with it, but they still did it that way. So I look at something like the Greek saga and I'm just they wouldn't dare. They don't got the stones.
And,
it's not So it's not me agreeing with them. It's me saying definitively that you won't find a person who isn't too much of a coward to tackle the Greek saga.
Like, here's basically my stance as well with the Greek saga. I think it still would be possible for someone to adapt it because, like, and by the way, I disagree with the whole people don't like seeing villains do villainous things, because if that isn't the case, then clearly people haven't been paying attention to why people like villains in media, like with, what's his name? With, like, Breaking Bad. Everybody knows that a lot of the characters in Breaking Bad are villainous pieces of shit, but they like those villainous pieces of shit. So I think that they could do an adaptation of God of War, the Greek era. They would just have to tone down a lot of what Kratos did. Like, maybe not make him so still have him be a villain, but then have him at times question if he is truly wondering if the villainous actions are worth damning his soul to, I don't know, Hades, or if his revenge is justified.
It's because, like, again, the core issue there is that, like, if you tone it down and make him question, it's like the whole thing about the Norse saga is that Kratos never stopped to consider his actions until it was too late, and the Norse saga was less him trying to atone and more him just trying to not at all. Like when Balder arrives at the house looking for a fight, Kratos does everything in his power to not have a fight, not because he cares about Balder, but because he's laying low. He doesn't want to be found. He doesn't want to be a part of the world. But he also, he even says so himself, death can have him where it earns him. So he's not looking for an ending. He's just looking for some peace and quiet.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what happened after, like, the end of the Greek era and into the Norse saga. He just wanted to...
And, like, that's the thing. Like, in the Greek saga, he's not looking for peace. Peace doesn't exist for him. He's barely a person, even to himself. Like, he has a purpose, and he'll see it completed, and he does, and it wasn't worth it. So, like, toning it down would be a hard sell, and, like, maybe they can, like, have it both ways, and actually give us flashbacks to Kratos' Greek escapades, so that they can have the benefit of skipping over a lot of the bad stuff, but focusing in on the he killed his family, sold his soul to Ares, destroyed Greece. It's like, we don't have to acknowledge what he did to the Poseidon princess. It's fine. They don't even acknowledge that in Ragnarok, which is weird, because Ragnarok is all about acknowledging everything Kratos did. Giving him peace in that, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, so Tyr is telling him that most of what he did is fine, but like they never bring up the Poseidon princess, and I'm just sitting there thinking, yeah, because there is nothing Tyr could say that would ever absolve Kratos from needlessly, unnecessarily grinding a woman into mush for nothing. To bypass a gate he should have been able to tear apart with his bare hands. Considering what he did to fucking Hercules in the game. Or considering what he did to, like, everyone in the game.
Yeah.
Aquamarine, I'm not gonna go super into detail because, like, yeah, but basically he murdered someone he didn't need to in a very gruesome way.
The thing about God of War is just the complexity of Kratos as a character. And while, yes, in the Norse mythology games, he does... I guess you could say he kind of chilled out over the years, especially after having a son. That... He chills out in as much as he stops looking for fights. He doesn't stop being an asshole until midway through Ragnarok. Like, personally for me, when it comes to, like, Kratos, he is, like... I wouldn't say he's trying to, like, find redemption because I think he doesn't think he can have redemption.
That's literally what the Valhalla expansion is all about.
Yeah, but he basically does try to kind of not be what he used to be to Atreus, especially considering that he lost his family because of what he used to be.
Yeah.
And how his revenge didn't really bring them back anyway.
Well, I mean, it was never good. You just reminded me of a massive plot hole from the second game. So, for anyone who doesn't know, God of War 2 ends with you destroying the Sisters of Fate and taking control of the Threads of Fate in their absence, i.e. the power to control time within the Greek realm, right? So Kratos can go to any point in his past that he wants to change his fate, right?
Yes.
Why doesn't he just go as the god killer he is now and bump off Ares before he can sell his soul to him? Because we establish at multiple points in the game that Kratos going back in time and messing with his past experiences doesn't hurt him in any way, and it doesn't, like, ruin the world he's in. He could stop God of War 1 before it even happened, but, like, I understand that the point is that he was so tunnel-visioned on his revenge against Zeus that he only cared about the now. And again, that's another thing that, like, I think making him think too much in the Greek saga would lose, because then you have to answer the question of why didn't he just fix the problem when he had effectively infinite power.
I mean, I guess one argument can be said that he is his own hubris because he's so hell-bent on his revenge. But,
well, no,
again...
I know why. Like, I know you can, like, blag a reason into the narrative, and I know that the main reason can just be he wasn't thinking because he was angry at Zeus. Like, what I'm saying is, like, it's either a plot hole, or that very same tunnel vision is another thing that you lose by mellowing him out.
Yeah.
Like, Greek Kratos can only work if he is unapologetically, uncompromisingly the monster of the story. It's like, he doesn't care if killing Helios blots out the sun. He doesn't care if killing Poseidon floods Greece, including the Sparta he spent the last game trying to save. He doesn't care if killing Hermes unleashes innumerable plagues upon Olympia. And he doesn't care if killing Zeus unleashes an everlasting storm on his old home.